Uh, hey guys, thank you for joining the Nicotina Show. I'm your host today, Axel Droga, and yeah, today we're going to be talking about Batgirl. Okay.
Hey yo, shut the fuck up.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. So, you guys, I decided to do a show today because I wanted to talk about all the shit that's happening with Warner Bros. Discovery. Recently, as of yesterday, it's become a complete shit show of all kinds of crazy shit. But, you know, we're going to try to make sense of it and kind of break down exactly what the fuck is going on, because right now it's kind of all over the place. I'm joined by Jared from Comics League, Phil from Phil and the remember the Four Nerds, and we got Axel Droga all the way from Australia. So, guys, what do you think is going on with WB? Okay, Phil, let's start with you. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear
Music's
me now?
not all that loud. You know, you can talk over it.
My mic's on.
There we go. Now it's going through.
Okay, that's weird. Something's going on with my mic. I don't know. That's weird. What isn't wrong with WB? Like what? I mean, you know, when this news dropped, I had a feeling that it was going to go both ways. Like, reactions were going to be either, you know, praising the downfall of this movie or mourning the fact that it is dead in the water. And not only dead in the water, but dead right before the finish line, which, according to, you know, a couple different credible sources, like, this movie was at the finish line. It was in its final stages of post-production. So it's really unfortunate, you know, for the whole cast and crew of Batgirl, obviously. Right. But at the same time, there's a lot of questions coming out of it. Like, you know, obviously Michael Keaton was supposed to play a role in this, and he was allegedly going to have a role in Aquaman 2, but that has now been retrofitted to include Ben Affleck as Batman. David Zaslav's prior comments regarding Batman is just, you know, even just the Trinity is also a little more telling. So you kind of have to wonder, like, was Batgirl canceled due to purely monetarily tax-based reasons and the fact that Zaslav thinks it's not big enough to be a superhero theatrical experience, or is there something more here? That's kind of something people are definitely asking, and obviously that's part of your thumbnail too. So
exactly,
I don't know, dude. Like, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's also asking questions, and we're probably going to get some answers tomorrow when they do their first quarterly as Warner Brothers Discovery. So I don't know. Personally, I wasn't really looking forward to Batgirl, but I wasn't exactly like aiming against it. I mean, it was very odd to see a 70-year-old Batman next to, you know, J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon, right? But like,
that's always been my complaint about going with Keaton. Now, look, I love Michael Keaton. I love Batman '89, Batman Returns. He's beloved by so many fans, right? But to bring him in as your quote unquote replacement for Ben Affleck's Batman is such a to me, that's the worst way you could have done it. Right. I mean, they did it because it was the safest route, if you ask me. They're like, yeah, if we do this, everyone loves Keaton. No one's going to turn against him. You know, we can't lose. Instead, it's like now the continuity issue is that now you have a 70-year-old Batman with the Justice League. So now you're telling me moving forward, I'm not going to get a younger Batman. If there is a Justice League. Jared, welcome to the show. What do you think? I mean, were you ever happy with the idea that Keaton was going to come back?
No, because I was a big fan of Ben Affleck. I'm like, well, let me put it this way. I liked Keaton. I think Keaton worked for the time period that he was in. By the way, my favorite people, the people that complain about Ben Affleck killing people, then they're like, oh, my favorite Batman's Keaton. I'm like, Should I tell you about what goes on in his movies? He lights people on fire. He drops a grenade in someone's pants. So let's not talk about killing rules.
And also with people saying that he's too old, that Ben Affleck's too old to play Batman.
I'm like, tell
are you
Warner
kidding
Brothers.
me?
Well, first off, it's Warner Brothers. So
What's
really,
this? Oh, okay. You're not the DC Films president. We know that
Hello,
already.
everyone. I am so glad you are here tonight.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so
listen.
last I heard,
DC
you were on
film-
vacation. That's
Look,
what I heard.
I take a vacation, 3 or 4 times a year. I have a lot of money because of what the films we make. But yes, you like all the good films. Yes, we're not going to have DC fandom this year. It's not important. We're good. We're good to go.
thanks for.
No shit.
All right, thank you, Walter, for showing up. Now get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Thanks
All right.
a lot for Justice League.
Seriously. Okay, so Prime also joined us. Now, Prime, a lot of shit's going on. So what do you think is happening right now over at Warner Brothers Discovery? Are they going to retool all this, or are they going to reboot all this?
Hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover.
Yep.
I mean, they've already fired, or they're scheduled to fire like 70% of the HBO Max employees. They're canceling projects left and right. I mean, it's pretty crazy on what's going on. So what's your take on this in terms of a hostile takeover? I mean, can you go a little bit more into that?
Well,
What's up, Ryan?
I mean, it's pretty much like this. It's like when sports organizations, when they bring in a new GM, they want their own personnel.
Right, exactly.
They're going to clean house. They're going to make it to the point where it's going to be in their DNA. It's going to be in their name, and that's exactly what Zaslav was doing. I'm not mad at him for doing it because a lot of people are not understanding the actual business element of it. He's trying to get rid of, how should I say, unnecessary expenditures. That's not even necessary. He's looking at it from a completely different lens. For instance, it's like if he knows that a project is not going to make a money or is not getting any type of traction, what's the point of even keeping it? Now, some of the stuff I could think is kind of questionable. Like I'll say some of the HBO Max exclusivity titles that he's just getting rid of to we know right now has been 6. But to be honest with you, I don't think that HBO really put out crappy product like that, because a lot of stuff that's on HBO is quality. So everybody knows HBO is quality, but back to everything else, I don't have no problem with it, and at the same time, he has a plan. He's putting the pieces in place, and he's going to run it the way he runs it. Now, all the others, the thing is that a lot of people, how should I say, they've never seen nothing like this be done. I have. Okay, I have. So my thing, I'm not talking about in the movie industry, in the gaming industry. I've seen it. So, this is the first time, to my knowledge of my lifetime, that I've ever seen anything of this magnitude where, somebody new just coming on in and they just completely decapitating this. He taking the axe and he's just taking everything, and I'm not mad at him for it. So, but
I mean, the fact that right away they canceled Batgirl, I mean, to me, it's also a power play move by him, saying that, like, look, if I don't think it's going to cut it, if my team says that this is not going to cut it, then we're going to cut the fucking projects.
Right.
So I think he's trying to set a precedent within his company. I mean, however, look, I mean, none of us want to see a project like that where people, work their asses off on a movie to never come out. I mean, that's pretty rough.
I would say this, and this is just my personal opinion. Some people can think a little bit differently. I don't think Zaslav is into the woke culture. I don't think that he's with that.
Could be.
Now, yeah, I don't think so. I didn't say that he was. I just said I don't think he is, because for the simple fact, I don't think he's into the woke culture at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think that he's into tokenism as well. That's just my personal outlook on it. Some people can think differently.
Yeah. May I ask, what does tokenism mean? Because I've heard that a lot, and I don't understand what that means. What do you mean?
Tokenism is
J.R.R.
basically-
Tolkien.
Yeah, J.R. told it's the Lord of the Rings. It's gonna be on Amazon. And follow Fatal J for
Rings of
continued
Power?
coverage of Lord of the Rings on Amazon. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, he's been going nuts with that.
basically tokenism is that it's a lot of when you take characters and you take already constructed characters and you change them for a profit instead of just sticking with what they is. So you're trying to you're just trying to change the regime. For instance, it's like you're trying to change the ethnicity of the character. This is the thing that I would say with Batgirl. I don't know what the story would have been about, but you got a Batgirl that is Latino. So you're trying to tell me Commissioner Gordon is Latin, or she's adopted, Barbara Gordon,
Baby?
Or
His
he
wife?
did hook up with a Latino?
Latin woman. I don't know. We don't know, but everybody knows that. Just for me, because I'm in the continuity, and that's just how I am when it comes down to these characters. I'm a little bit different. Barbara Gordon is a Caucasian female.
Exactly. She's a redhead.
And if
She's
you
a redhead.
don't know, now
I mean,
you
she
know.
was gonna be redhead in the movie, but like, yeah, like it is a thing. Like, I understand, like, some people may not like the change of like changing someone's ethnicity. I mean, like, take example Cyclone, like in Black Adam. Let's not pretend that Cyclone was anyone's favorite character from the comics. And so, yeah, I think that not saying that changing a race was like a better, like an upgrade, but I think it was just it was just a different take on the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I would say this: the only thing, like for instance, that really worked. We'll take Matt Reeves' Batman for instance. Commissioner Gordon is black, right?
Oh yeah.
But people got to understand is that that's an Elseworld story being done in a completely different realm. It's its own entity. So I can understand that. He's doing a year 1, year 2 series, which I get. So you can do something like that, especially if it's only going to be like a trilogy or a 4-parter where you have a beginning, middle, and an end. But if you're trying just to make something into, how should I say, a continuity or a universe with a particular character, no. And at the same time, I don't think Batgirl, I'm just saying this is what I think. I don't think Batgirl was going to be something that was going to be its own entity. I think they're trying to connect it. From what I was reading and what I've been seeing is that Batgirls are tied in with the Flash and they're trying to make, I'm like, you're going to confuse a lot of people. That's another thing too. So it's all this discombobulation that has been going on. And on top of that, I think that a lot of these projects, the former executives at Warner Brothers, I think they really green-lighted a lot of shit. Just some dumb bullshit. They green-lighted. Yeah, so the people that were still there, they can at least get some profits before they actually get decapitated there. But didn't think that it was going to get to this magnitude. This is why I say that anything that was in the old regime, this is my last point, is that it's not going to be on Zaslaw's watch. No.
Exactly. Because
It's
some of the
gone.
shit that was greenlit, they're looking at it and reviewing it like, man, like, why the fuck was this greenlit for? And obviously, there was an agenda behind why these certain projects were greenlit and pushed forward. But now he's showing them, hey, look, I don't give a fuck if we spent $70 to $100 million. I'm gonna fucking cancel this shit because this is not representative of what we want to provide as a product that represents the WBD. So I mean,
It's a tax write-off.
Then they shouldn't just they shouldn't greenlight it then if they're just going
but
to
he didn't
cancel it.
greenlight it. The old regime greenlit it because they greenlit
Yeah,
all those
but
projects.
if
I
they're
mean, like-
you gotta understand
Like for instance, when they did Michael Keaton, in which he's showing right now, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
That don't make no sense. I need people to really think about this. When they did that, I was like, what the hell is y'all doing? I get the idea that you want to have alternate universes and conjoin them
There
from
he
different, verses and stuff. I get it. But from what they was talking and what they were saying, which I know that was the most idiotic thing I heard. That's why I didn't believe it until it actually came into fruition. But the more it kept on coming out, I was like, they really gonna have this old man be the definitive Batman now? And the only reason why they do it is because for the simple fact they do not like change. They are so scared they're gonna go back to things that made them profits, and they're gonna go back to that. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Okay, Batman. Michael Keaton hasn't played Batman since 1992. So I mean,
they're relying on Michael Keaton's name alone just to get like people to watch it. Like, it's fine to have like big names in like movies, but like sometimes you don't need big names to like make a good movie. I don't know. It just kind of like annoys me. Like,
I think that the problem they ran into was that they wanted to, if the report was true and that they asked Affleck to come back to do a Batfleck series and he turned it down. Okay, let's just say that all played out to be true, right? So then they sat there and thought, well, what can we do? How can we make it? Like, how do we introduce a new Batman? And instead of just trying to recast the character, they're like, okay, which at this point now I'm glad they didn't, but they're like, oh, let's just bring back Michael Keaton. Now, look, to me, and Ryan and I have talked about this, at length, is that I thought that bringing back Keaton as a one-off for the Flash movie was a great idea.
It's like Flashpoint
right,
Batman in a way.
That perspective.
That's a brilliant idea. Why not? That's fucking cool. But then to find out, oh yeah, we're gonna bring him back, and then he's gonna be the Batman moving forward. Like, what the fuck?
Fury.
And like he's gonna be, and he's 70, and like, what do you?
He's not gonna look like this.
Exactly.
No.
That's what they're planning on doing. Yeah.
This is like 30 years ago.
Right.
At that point, his stunt double is going to be more Batman than he is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think?
Yes, I think his stunt double is going to look younger than he is. Yes.
I got something. Yeah,
agree.
It'll be hilarious. It'll be hilarious is if his stunt double, they secretly make Ben Affleck his stunt double. That'd be hilarious.
Well. I mean, they can't really do that because he's so tiny.
Well, that's true.
he's a short dude.
Do you really think Warner Brothers cares, though?
Also, I have a feeling that Keaton is gonna be. They're gonna make Keaton like Count Dooku, like where he does the flips and stuff.
He'll be the Master Yoda, essentially.
Yeah, there it is.
Everything. But everything with this is like utterly crazy right now. It's like it's crazy. I'm supporting it, but I don't want people to think that I'm supporting people losing their jobs. Look, people, look. Yes, they've been working on their projects for 2-some years, because that wasn't the only movie that got scrapped. Scoob got scrapped too. And pretty much Scoob was done. Yeah. That's not coming out. And yeah, so it's like they're going, so people need to understand this. It's going to be a write-off. They're going to write this off. It's not a loss. They're going to write this off on their taxes. And then on top of that, all the actors, producers, the directors, everybody that was there, they've already gotten paid. So, I mean, people need to really look at it from that. Where if it'll be a different story if there was under contract and it's like, well, y'all not getting paid until, whatever the sales is and then whatever the commission is, then you will get paid. Then I would be like pissed because I did all this work and now I'm not getting paid. But it don't work like that.
No,
it don't work like that.
But
they got paid.
But I mean, going back to that point of having Keaton replace Affleck, or just the flat out of just Keaton being your Batman moving forward. I mean, look, in this report right here, that audiences found it confusing. Yeah, if I didn't know anything about what the fuck
the
we're talking about,
found it confusing too.
You can tell they didn't know what the fuck was going on. They're like, yeah, every time we asked them, they'd say, don't worry about it. We have a plan. That sounds so. That's like uninspiring. You're just like, okay, so they don't know. Okay, they just want me to film this movie.
I have a question.
Get over it.
I have a question. Why did they greenlit a Batgirl movie before we've actually had a Batman movie? That's what I want to know. That's really
they got the Batman. They had the Batman. That's
You
what
could
I'm saying.
also-
They had
An
Batman.
actual
You could argue that
incontinent
Batman versus Superman and Justice League were the de facto Batman films, hence greenlighting a Batgirl film.
And also, they did say that Keaton was going to be their Nick Fury or something of DC.
Well, yeah,
I'm
because
like,
like
That makes
moving
sense.
forward,
That was a
they were
dumb
going to
idea.
have Batgirl and Supergirl be like the faces of the DCEU with the
Whoa.
older Batman
Whoa,
there as a
that-
mentor role, and then you still have a young, virtually a young Aquaman, a young Wonder Woman, and a young Flash. So it's like they're like, oh, so that's going to be our team now. But
right.
and we've always said this. I think a lot of us have said this is that look, I'm all for Supergirl and Batgirl. Like, hey, I want to see their stories fleshed out. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But not at the expense of Superman and Batman. Like, you cannot replace them with those two characters. I'm sorry, but having a 70-year-old, however the fuck old he is, Batman.
I'm gonna train you.
And like I
like
said,
that.
it
When you see the
didn't.
warehouse scene, I'm like, dude, I want more
Yeah.
of that Batman.
I
want
want
more
that
of
one.
That kind of thing.
That
You know what I mean?
scene alone sold me on Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Right, but that's the thing. It's like, and another back what Nicotina said, it's like he's not into that woke stuff because it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. That pissed me off, even if it was the case. But the way it was looking, it looked like that's what they was trying to do. They're trying to get all the male characters out and try to, how should I say, mirror what Marvel did in Endgame, which I think Marvel might do down the line. You know, when they had all the girls at the end.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're slowly.
and all that
Yes, that's what
shit.
they're building up to. Is
girls get it done.
female Avengers.
Female, okay.
The A-Force. But I'm like, that one scene in Endgame had me going, sweet Lord. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was tight. Don't get me wrong.
No,
it
yeah,
was
it was
cool.
so
when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. But like,
Yeah, that's
wasn't
cool.
like,
Oh, I
give
didn't.
me-
I was
give me
like,
that
so they
movie.
can
No, I was
stop
like-
in the middle of a fight and pose. Like what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
no,
We're all on the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
spot
I'm
for
sorry,
some
I have to
reason
be
on this
honest.
Battlefield.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's good for the women and all that stuff like that. It's cool. It was a nice scene. But when you step back and when you look at that team and they decide to have that team gonna get obliterated outside of
Because most of them don't have
Captain
powers. That's
Marvel.
the thing.
Yeah, they're just like,
right,
"Ah!"
that team will get obliterated outside of Captain Marvel. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, let's be serious here. So
Yeah,
my thing, I'm like, go ahead.
When Zaslav showed up, and him and his team, even Alan Horn for that matter, when they showed up and they started looking into what was going on, this is what they ran into. They were like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Why is Keaton back?"
And Hamada was like, oh, okay, I can
We have a
explain.
plan.
I can
We
explain.
have a plan.
We have a plan, but the one that had the plan, you guys fired, so I need to get that plan
And
because
had the
she was
plan.
here.
And I gotta find
Anne had the
Anne
plan,
Arm.
but now she's gone.
And had a plan. It looked something like this. It made a lot of sense. You know, and I'm telling you, like, when they started to describe this shit, this is exactly what Zaslav said.
Man, don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
You know what's funny? Every time I hear Warner Brothers talk about their plan, you know what's the first thing that comes into my mind? The Princess Bride scene where he goes, "You keep saying that word. I don't think you know what it means."
You know what?
Hey,
I like what Dork Knight says here. I'm at a point where it's either Snyderverse or just reboot. You know what I mean? Because it's like
I'm not
maybe it
against
hasn't had a
that.
plan since Snyder walked in 2020. Here's the thing. To me, okay, so what I was saying earlier was that I think there's 3 scenarios in which this is what WB is going to do, okay? So I'm going to list all 3 of them throughout the show, but the first one is that they are going to reboot after the Flash. Okay, I think it's very possible that that's what they're going to do if they can't figure out what the fuck they're going to do. Because the thing is that if you embrace what you have now and you build off of what you have now, to me, that is the most simplest way to move forward. Because you already have some characters already established. Let's move forward with them.
That people like.
If you're going to reboot everything, then that means that you have to start from scratch. That means you have to recast a bunch of characters, everyone, or you might keep some of them. I don't know, because if you embrace the multiverse idea, then you can kind of do that. You know, you can reboot, but also keep some of the characters, which I think is what they were trying to do in the first place with Hamada and all them, but they fucked it all up. So, what do you guys think about the idea of them rebooting the DCEU?
I mean, they will. That's the way it's looking. That's what I'm thinking that can possibly happen, assuming that I'll put you like this: if the Flash gets completely shelved, so let's just say hypothetically it does get shelved. I don't think that it will. I don't think that it will. I'm 50-50 on it because at this point, I ain't putting nothing past Zaslav right now. I'm not putting nothing past him. But if let's just say hypothetically it gets shelved, they're rebooting. I mean, they're because Zaslav already said in the report back in what was it, February or March, when I forget that news channel that he was on. But he pretty much primarily said for DC, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman was the primary focus. He said that out of his mouth. So
yeah, he did. He did say that.
He said that out of his mouth. So my thing is that if they decide to reboot, hey, he gonna use the Trinity to build everything, which you should be doing anyway.
Okay. But Jared, what do you think about the idea? Should they reboot after the Flash?
That's the $1 million question. I mean, they could, but here's the thing, though. Like you said before, there's plenty of stuff in the already established source material that people like, and that they have data that indicates that people like. Like people like Ben Affleck as Batman. People like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. People like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. He probably saved the Aquaman character. Personally, what I think they should do or could do is just as soon as Zack's deal with Netflix is done, just call him up and use at least Justice League 2 and 3 as a delaying tactic, and just say until we get start releasing that stuff, just so they can keep people occupied while they come up with a plan. What are we going to do here?
And that's assuming that Zack's going to want to come back. I mean, for the most part, I mean, who's to say that Zack's going to be like, yeah, I want to come back and finish my story. I don't care how fucked up you guys are right now. At this point, he might be like, dude, I'm not going to come back and deal with you bunch of idiots. Like,
well, I was busy doing his Netflix stuff at like Rebel Moon.
Exactly.
He's already been to studio. He wants to come back, but he can't.
But Zack has already been at the studio, though. Even though he's not supposed to be talking to Warner Brothers, he's already been at the studio. He's already been in the
Teen Titans thing.
Other people,
right?
Yeah.
It's a personal.
So I mean,
that was shot a while ago, though.
Yeah,
that was recorded a while ago. That's not recent.
But but the shows that at least they're in, at least as minor as that looks, at least it shows that he's on speaking terms with some part of Warner Brothers.
Yes.
I'll take that. Let me put it this way: for the past 2 years, enough stuff has gone down where I'll take him showing up in Teen Titans Go as progress. Okay.
Okay, Phil. Let's ask you. You've been very quiet. And Krypton, we're gonna get you in a second. Phil, what do you think? Is it a good idea for the DC or for Warner Brothers to reboot after the Flash?
I have no fucking clue, dude. I think they're gonna do whatever Zaslav's gonna want to do. If they reboot after the Flash, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. It really wouldn't. Whether or not Zack Snyder decides to come back and finish off his 2 movies, that seems like an even far less likely option, considering the way that studios treated both the directors of Batgirl and seemingly a lot of other creatives. I can't see a scenario where he looks at that and goes, oh yeah, I'll totally come back and work for you guys, even though you guys just totally fucked over how God knows how many people. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's possible.
That's the other thing.
But...
And not to cut you off, but I think Phil makes a fantastic point. Do you really think that Zack Snyder is going to come back on the heels of them canceling, Batgirl, let alone Scoob, and all those people who worked on those projects, who put time and effort into all of that,
also
got their projects canceled. Like, what the fuck? Now you want me to come back and take over? No, fuck that. I want any part of this crap. All right, go ahead, Krypton.
He is 100% coming back. We know, God will, everybody knows, who's listening, everything, that they
I don't do that anymore.
Bullshit to sabotage fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League. This shit was after the company was bought. The freaking clown car decided to push Batgirl and try to rush Batgirl. If you notice, these other shows were under production, and they did Batgirl and Blue Beetle, right? That shit was in post production before freaking They did these movies so fast, and then he probably saw this garbage and like, oh hell no, because they were trying to create a world. Literally look at what happened. They were trying to create the world after Zack Snyder, and then Slash said no, that's not gonna happen, and that's why Batgirl was canceled. That's what Batgirl was canceled. It's like, who the hell you have Simmons and freaking Keaton in the same movie when Keaton freaking Gordon died like 25 fucking years ago? No, I'm good. That's what happened. It's like they were trying to do it on purpose. That cold freaking regime were trying to do that purpose. Trying to fuck this shit.
I think
over.
To be honest,
and it's like, no, I'm good.
To be honest, I think that what we were seeing was people who were in control over there, who were not very good at coming up with a creative idea of how to continue the DCEU.
How do you do a Batgirl movie without having a Nightwing movie first?
How do you fuck that up that bad? You know
Come on.
There's so many better ways to do it, and I'm glad that at least somebody over there, maybe Zaslav, maybe Alan Horn, maybe the whole team, realized, hey, wait a minute, this is fucking dumb. Because look, I think we can all agree that when it was announced that they're doing a Batgirl, that they're doing, Keaton as a Batman going forward, and Kaye as a Supergirl in the Super Kryptonian moving forward, none of us were really huge fans of that. None of us were like, fuck yeah, that's
Also,
badass.
like,
It was just
remember-
like, what the fuck?
Also,
I
remember,
guess this
Joss
could
Whedon
work.
was meant to direct that movie, so like, hey, it could have been a lot worse.
No,
So-
when have they ever been a Trinity? Ever? And you want to make Wonder Woman part of that Trinity?
No. That's a.
Two
When I
girls-
think of DC, I don't think of Supergirl and Batgirl. I think
No.
of Superman and Batman because those are the characters that made the freaking company, and the reason why the company
And Wonder
existed
Woman.
since
And
the
Wonder
19
Woman. You gotta go to Trinity.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman,
of course.
exactly.
But I mean, is that these are the
That-
characters that made DC, and you're not using them.
Yes,
They got to
he-
start on the foundation
that-
first.
he
That's
was
what
flawed.
we want. Yes,
when
we
it-
have Man of Steel. We have Wonder Woman. We want the Batfleck movie. We want Man of Steel 2, and we have Wonder Woman 84. And anyway,
boy.
yeah.
Ryan,
but-
do you have anything you want to add to this? Do you think it's a good
yeah.
idea?
Yeah,
You know,
well, hold on.
reboot.
Before that, I have to address the elephant in the room, man.
Talking to me.
Krypton's core.
Are you talking
Now,
about?
we just recently
Yeah, I'm
found out that
Batman.
Thomas Wayne is not in the fucking Flash movie. I need you to own that shit.
I was about to say that. Like he's still.
No, Michael
I like
Keaton. Michael Keaton blatantly said he's playing Bruce Wayne in this fucking movie, and is not Thomas Wayne, bro.
Hey Ryan,
I need you to
know
own
now
that
he's-
shit.
I know he's Thomas Wayne now because he's only gonna be in one movie now. I definitely know.
No, he's dude, bro. If you can't take the L like a champ, bro. I mean,
You know what'd be even more hilarious is if they silently. It'd be hilarious if they silently reshoot this, and then as soon as the Flash goes back in time, it's Jeffrey D. Morgan as Thomas Wayne. They completely eliminate Michael Keaton.
Yeah, they just reshot all of his scenes.
Yeah.
Or every time I say his name, it's like, hey, Bruce, what are you doing? It's like audio dubbed over.
This is Thomas. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Now I know he's Thomas because he's only gonna be in one fucking movie.
Man, look at this guy.
Also, and by the way, can I just say
Keaton said
something?
himself, bro. He
Yeah.
said himself. He's not.
He's just
not
yeah,
Thomas.
he's Thomas. Yo.
We only know for sure.
No,
when it
we
comes
do
out.
know for sure, bro. And you got to
Here's
take
the
that
thing.
fucking L, bro.
No,
You gotta
here's the
take
thing.
those.
We're living in a world where Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire told us they wouldn't be in a Spider-Man movie.
Exactly.
Tobey
Although-
Maguire never
well,
outright.
okay, nobody
insisted.
believed
Andrew
that.
Garfield did.
No, nobody believed that. Nobody did.
All right, Andrew Garfield. Yeah, so at that point, here's the thing about Andrew Garfield. He just screwed everyone saying, no, I'm not in this movie.
Okay, so let's check this out real quick. Hold on. Okay, so this came from Stephen Weintraub.
Why did you say that name?
I know.
That guy? I've seen
So
him.
he's from Collider. He's a douche.
Oh boy, yeah.
Phil
Phil
is a huge follower.
Look, this is the guy who told Todd McFarlane, but Kevin Feige said, but Kevin Feige said, but Kevin Feige said. That dude is like one of the biggest fucking dick writers on the internet. Fuck him.
So he says, speaking of hashtag DC movies, multiple people have told me first 2 of 3 of the first 2/3 of the Flash movie is awesome, but ending needs work. And Shazam is fantastic. I haven't spoken to anyone who's seen Black Adam yet. Thanks for nothing. So we know it starts out great apparently, but it doesn't end very well. So still, I think that
Did
the
Jeff
ending
Jones
of
rewrite the third act or something?
well, to me, it makes it sound like the ending of the movie is where everything goes fucking haywire. Which is kind of scary because I mean that's going to depict a lot about what happens in the DCEU. So to me, if you're going to course correct to a degree, you know, not to say, oh yeah, we're going full Snyderverse, baby. If you're going to course correct and say, hey, no, look, we don't want to get rid of the characters already established. We want to continue those characters and develop stories for those characters moving forward. Develop another Justice League with those characters moving forward because general audiences know these actors, know these characters. We gotta get Cavill back in here and get Affleck back in here, and let's move forward with that. And so,
I'm going to make a prediction about The Flash. It's going to end based upon the Twitter reaction to Ben Affleck returning for Aquaman. I'm going to make a prediction that at the end of The Flash, they're going to redo it so Affleck is in the world now instead of Keaton.
No,
Right.
no, I don't think they're gonna do that because I think literally the whole story, like if you think about it, because you know I was saying this before. You know, we had Flashpoint. How many times have you seen Flashpoint?
Oh, bro,
That's
that's the only Flash story people think exists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've seen it in the comics.
It's not Thomas, for God's sakes. Let it go.
Hello, no.
Oh no!
No, I'm just
Somebody,
saying,
I need that for my show.
I said we saw it in the comics. We've seen it in the CW, and we've seen it in freaking in animation. And I'm telling people, you want to see the same shit over again, dude. If they do a twisted version of Flashpoint, right, where instead of him going back in time, he tries to go back in time and he gets pushed to a different planet,
Kills
you
his
know,
own mother.
in universe. That'd be freaking awesome. So I don't understand how people are like, you know, upset about this shit. It's a different freaking universe.
Well,
It's a different Batman.
Well, here's what they can
good
do.
because
I'm like, I don't want to see the same shit over and over again. I've already seen this shit 3 times. Why would I want to see the same story a 4th time? It doesn't make any fucking sense because it's on fucking.
CW was very loose.
I don't think that it's not that they're doing the same story. Is that Flashpoint Paradox is such a very good story, not just only in the actual books itself, but that animated movie was absolutely fantastic. Now you can
I love that film.
Right, but you can take it in different directions any way that you want to. You don't have to necessarily have to go with the actual source.
We saw it in the comics. We saw the same story in the comics and the same story in animation, and we saw a variation of the same story in the CW TV show.
True.
Why do I want to fucking watch it the same fucking story again?
But
I mean, we have seen Batman's parents get shot.
Well, maybe. Well, you think about it. If you think about it, because that's why they integrated Supergirl. That's why they integrated other things. It's just like the new book that Jeff Johns just wrote, The Paradox. It's the I can't even think of the goddamn.
Flashpoint Beyond.
Nobody reading that shit.
No, it's good. It's very good.
He has the BVS Batmobile in the book, so
right. But that's what I'm saying. Even though off topic, even though this is off topic, and people fail to realize Jeff Johns could be a douchebag. He could be terrible writing for movies, but he's an excellent comic book writer. You cannot take that away from him.
Just read Green Lantern, and you're pretty much there.
Right.
But,
so
I don't know.
you cannot take that away from him.
I'm sorry. Personally,
so-
Jeff Johns hasn't written a good comic book since Aquaman 2011. That dude's written some fucking trash.
I don't know.
Three
that's your
Jokers,
opinion.
fucking trash. That dude can't write a fucking comic book to save his life now. That dude can't
that's
write
your
shit.
that's
That's
your
kind of a
opinion.
bias though you have with him.
That's your
Though. I mean,
opinion.
Oh, 100%. Ain't no lie about that.
100%.
Darkseid War is really.
Oh, while we're on it, fuck James Gunn. I mean,
at this point, I'm starting to wonder if Peacemaker's going away because of the way Zaslav's been hacking away anything by like a minor character.
That's Andre's favorite show, but I haven't seen it. If you take that away, Andre will be very upset.
Very upset.
Oh, yeah,
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Hey, Andre, play it again.
Oh, good fucking
I
man.
watched 3 episodes and just dropped off. I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
It's fine. It's fine.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it, but that's the one thing. I mean, look, that was the only thing
But
that's come out
wait.
lately that I actually enjoyed.
It's fine.
Why
I
are you
always
making
say
a Peacemaker
like
series?
I like the crazy comedy. Like I like that specific comedy and it's subjective. You know, it's like whatever you like. But I fucking loved it. I loved all the episodes. And you know what show
I think Thomas Wayne could show up in Peacemaker. I'll give you that.
Wait. In the multiverse, they'll make it where Peacemaker is Thomas Wayne.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There
You know,
okay. So real quick, we got the first scenario that I put out there was reboot after the Flash, right? And we talked about that. The second scenario would be embrace and move forward with what you have. Okay,
What's left? You mean?
What's left, right? So let's say you're able to bring back Affleck into the fold. You're able to get Cavill what he wants and bring him back. Now you have the original Trinity and Justice League together, and you're able to get Ray Fisher to come back, right?
Yeah.
But now you have to trust the creatives over at Warner Brothers Discovery, and whoever's going to be in charge of the DC studios, DC world building. You have to trust them.
Yeah.
And are they still going to be using Christina Hodson as their main?
Ah, fuck you! I hate you. Get out of here. Right, that's it.
Who booing? Here's the thing. I think that
the buzzword.
Let's see what they go with this. Let's say they go in this direction and are able to get Cavill and Affleck back in. I think the first thing that they should announce is a Trinity movie, because that 100% includes all the characters that Zaslav says we need, and I think that would be relatively safe, because guess what? He says we need Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. We need to establish the Trinity a little more, because when you think about it, even though BVS was basically a Trinity movie, we haven't had a main Trinity movie where it's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman doing stuff.
Sure.
And also, I feel like we haven't seen Superman interact with the other Justice League members that much.
Yeah, right.
Kind of showed up and basically made the rest of them look weak.
Well, the thing is that all we've seen so far is
Wonder Woman with
okay.
Yeah, listen. I am so super liberal. I am like the most liberal person. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
But I am so fucking tired of his woke shit. I am so over this.
I mean, the thing is that I don't mind things sort of being like, okay, it's kind of there, it's maybe peppered in. But when something is being slammed in your face, like, take this. It's not. It's going to be met with resistance, because it's like, what, dude? Guys, you know, dude, I mean, fucking,
I don't need to know your
Trojan horse that shit. If you're going to put it in,
if your pronouns are they, them, who, she, them, whatever, you're a fucking superhero. Just look, this is why I fucking love. This is why I fucking love Superman and Lois.
Yeah, they don't have any of that stuff.
They don't have none of that shit. I kissed a girl and I liked it. With the
good for you.
Good for you. That will serve you well.
Let's shout that from the mountains, buddy.
He's like, I kissed a girl, and it was it, and that was that. And
does he look like a bitch?
It was not something that was thrown in our face. That's why.
Okay, so it sort of steers back on track. The Trinity movie. Now, okay, so far, if they can't get Zack, if you know he's busy, he's got other things, you know, he just has no desire. It'd be awesome if he does, but if not, the only thing that they have, you know, in their Trinity or it just with ensemble cast is Justice League, which is a Frankenstein movie. They don't have somebody that comes in and works start to finish and really works with, you know, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman like Zack Snyder did for BVS. So they could still have somebody come in and give a, you know, have the cast that Zack
give him a good rogering.
give him a good rogering, and send him out and say, hey, here it is. You know, this is the movie, and this is what we're gonna do. And it's maybe not that theme, or maybe it's not that narrative, but maybe it's something different, and maybe it's something that's palatable. And that would be that's your barometer right there. Like, fuck the Suicide Squad and the Wonder Twins and also the bullshit.
Shit.
But the main thing, or your main event, is going to be your Superman, your Batman, and then your Wonder Woman as well. And once you get those three right, you can introduce other ones, and you can bring Black Adam into the fold if they so choose.
No, but the whole issue is that people are bitching about Zack. Oh, he's going to be busy. It was a 2-year look deal.
But you don't know what he's doing after Rebel Moon.
But I mean, here's the thing about that.
It was a 2-year.
Okay, real quick, guys. Big shout out to Divino Vega for that $1.99 super chat.
Yo,
thank you, Mr. Vega.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
He says, shout out to the panel. I'm trusting Zaslav/WBD. Peace out. Much love. Thank you so much for stopping by and dropping the $1.99 super chat.
It was 2 hearts. It's 2 hearts.
Here's the thing that I want to just here's the thing I just want to just drop in there. Zack did do an interview, like I think it was like a couple of months ago, where someone asked him, okay, so let's say WBD comes to you and says, hey, do you want to come and do this? Do you want to at least?
What do you think that any director's answer would be? Any director?
Yeah, he said, let's do it.
But, I mean,
there you go. Any director is going to give a political response. They'll be like, no, fuck that. Fuck that shit. They burn bridges with me. I'm never going back. Dude, you never close a door in this industry. Never.
That he can't come back in 5 years. It was a 2-year.
No one's saying that he can't, and that's fine. That could have elapsed. But he still could make deals for other projects behind that you don't know about.
I'm saying it was a 2-year contract with Netflix, and it ends April of next year.
Awesome.
We're talking to him about this bullshit that he's busy for the next.
Awesome.
10 years.
So from now until April, he can come up with another idea that Netflix can greenlight, and then he's working on that project after that.
But now, if he's committed to these guys,
but he can if he's under contract.
But he's not under contract.
Look,
it was a 2-year look.
But here's my point. Here's my point with option 2, though, is that if they embrace and move forward with what you have, which means that they will. This does not include Zack Snyder. This includes everything that he already established, and perhaps maybe they bring him in as another advisor on what the fuck is going on and how to course correct on this universe, right? Whoever is in charge of DC might reach out to him and be, hey, I'd like to talk to you about all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And then we're trusting the creatives at Warner Bros. Discovery to not fuck this up. Okay, so that's option 2. Obviously, the big option 3 would be bring back Zack Snyder's restored. It's fucking all throw the fucking parade.
Sure.
Now, at least as a delaying tactic.
Well, but that's the thing is that, like, we know he's doing Rebel Moon, and we know he still has the Army verse he's working on as well, right? So, do I want him to come back? Fuck yeah, I want him to come back. But I only want him to come back if obviously if he wants to come back and do it, then hey, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say he is going to come back because I don't know for sure.
Wait, what? He's coming back. I gotta tweet this. Snyderverse restored. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Fucking
you're breaking news.
Fucking breaking news.
Well, he's
Go ahead, Krypton.
Like the first Justice League movie, and he comes back. Remember, he's just doing 2 more movies. Everybody think he's gonna freaking direct everything. It's like it's under that direction. Everybody
just 2 movies.
He's gonna do. So I don't think that the Justice League. It might come back in 2024, 2025. So that's enough time. That's like 2 or 3 years.
Right, but like the idea that he'd be shooting 2 movies. I mean, look at a Justice League movie part 2. There's a lot that goes into that.
It's a lot, right? He'd have to set up a part 2 and a part 3.
Yeah,
that's a huge undertaking.
You would probably also have to shoot them back to back.
He would, yes. Because not because of just his schedule, but also because of the cast.
Right.
The actors.
The actors. He's doing Moon is 8 months of production. because he started in April.
Right, but you're trying to fit Zack Snyder into your timetable, how you have it worked out in your head. You don't have his his calendar.
Hey, Zach is a grinder though, but still.
Yeah,
he's on Grindr.
Oh no! Oh, booted.
Get him out of here.
Hell no.
What I'm saying, he's doing that right now. He's produced, directing.
He's literally shooting Rebel Moon right now.
Two at the same time for 8 months. You're not going to tell me that he can't do that for Justice 2 and 3. He's literally doing the same shit that he's supposed to do for Justice League. He's doing that exactly right now. He's been freaking directing since April until November. That was his whole thing with he's doing part 1 and 2 of Rebel Moon. So why can't he do that with Justice League? Why can't he do next year once he's done with Planet of the Dead? He could jump into Justice League and
because you don't know what he has planned for next year yet.
Well, nobody. I'm just
Nobody
saying.
knows.
Zach knows.
No, but
Zach's got it. He's got it plotted out.
Possible. He's not going to do that. He's too busy. No, he's not. He can do what the fuck he wants.
Quiet.
The moment the song changes, I'll think it's
like,
okay, so let's go to some news here from viewer Anon, who's a quote-unquote scooper, I guess. Anyway, he says, okay, no point in holding on to this info anymore. Michael Keaton only had 5 scenes in Batgirl. Yeah, he didn't train Barbara. She dressed up as Batman for a Halloween party, stopped some terrorists, and tweaked the costume to be a superhero.
I thought it said twerked for a second. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
either way it works.
Yeah,
he meets Barbara twice in the costume, first on the street, telling her not to do this, then in one of those big Tim Burton-y towers where he helps her with something she needs. The last scene in the movie was them teaming up and diving off a gargoyle to fly around Gotham. Fucking no, thank you, dude.
She dressed.
This is bullshit.
That's what I think about that. That's what I think about that.
Exactly.
The whole movie, she actually bought her costume for parties. That's why it
looks like it.
She got her costume from fucking Party City. I mean, it's look.
So did Batman too when he was
Shoot her in the chest. Like what?
Yeah, shoot him in the chest. So based on what viewer Anon was saying, this movie sounds fucking terrible.
Wait,
there's
from
there's
just
nothing
that,
about
just
this that
those
sounds
one
good.
parts?
What's that?
From just those like parts of Keaton appearing?
Well, it gave ideas into the story, and it's horrible.
It sounds horrible. To me, it doesn't sound very interesting.
I think the movie as a whole is what caused the problem. I don't think it had anything to do with Michael Keaton per se.
No.
I think that his involvement in it, for whoever was watching, did confuse the audiences a little bit. Like, why is he here?
Well,
where's Alicia Silverstone? What's going on?
I think that if you look at the movies that they've put out, right, aside from, let's say, Shazam, when you look at Birds of Prey, right, and now you're looking at Batgirl.
I like that movie.
But I'm saying the movies that are coming out with that lower budget, or just say the smaller budget,
the lower tier,
the lower tier, it doesn't work. And so I think he's looking at it saying, hey, look, no. If we're going to have these superhero movies, they got to be big budget tentpole movies like every fucking Marvel movie that comes out. Like, why are we doing these inexpensive, cost-saving superhero movies? Doesn't make any fucking sense. But yet, they probably spent a fucking shit ton of money on Suicide Squad. But yet, no one's really talking about that. And so it's kind of like, you know what? It makes a lot of sense in the sense that he's like, look, I only want big production fucking movies coming out for DC, not fucking shit that was supposed to be on HBO Max, then all of a sudden got a theatrical release, and now it's just been shit canned. And then here's a message from the directors of Batgirl. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bigger. A little bit. We are sad and shocked by the news. We still can't believe it. As directors, it is critical that our work be shown to audiences. And while the film was far from finished, we wish that fans all over the world would have had the opportunity to see and embrace the final film themselves. Maybe one day they will. Inshallah. I don't know what that means.
That means high five. High five.
Our amazing cast and crew did a tremendous job and worked so hard to bring Batgirl to life. We are forever grateful to have been a part of this team or that team, and was a dream to work with such fantastic actors as Michael Keaton, Batgirl, with so much passion, dedication, and humanity. Speaking of Leslie Grace, in any case, as huge fans of Batman, why not Batman? Since we were little kids, it was a privilege and an honor to have been a part of the DCEU, even if it was for a brief moment. Batgirl for life. Is that kind of like when the movie they recently did was Bad Boys for Life? They said Batgirl for life.
Batgirl for life sucked, and the Batgirl sucked. That's why they fucking canceled that shit.
Okay, look, can I just say something? Look, I wasn't very excited.
Don't you ever not say anything.
When do I get a chance to speak?
I need a chance to speak. Okay, so like, look, I wasn't looking forward to the movie. Like, that wasn't a secret. Like, look, it didn't. But as I want to be a filmmaker, it's important to see like people's visions be realized. That's why we want that's why we have the Snyder cut released. That's why we want the Ayer cut, or at least someone does.
I do.
But like, oh okay. But like, yeah, it sucks to have your vision, like to have like a movie you worked on hard taken away. And look, I've seen a lot of Snyder fans on what?
Look. Bottom line is this.
I got one more thing to say. Like, I've seen a lot of.
Yeah, shut up, Andre.
Hey, Ryan, shut up over there.
Shut up.
I like those shoes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. But like, I've seen a lot of Snyder fans like celebrating that the movie was canceled, and look, I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty hypocritical, and I don't think Zack would really appreciate his fans celebrating a movie getting canceled by Warner Brothers.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking hypocritical. And look,
I think Krypton's core he celebrated.
Oh,
yeah, I did.
What?
I was, hallelujah.
He blew up just like Krypton did right there.
I was like, thank God this shit happened. And it's not because of it's not because of the whole creative bullshit. This is what happened to Zack. And people that were not Snyder fans were like praising this shit. Oh, that's just the best shit. So now that we're gloating, now we're the evil people. When they did shit, they did this shit to us for fucking 5 years. This whole bullshit. They were treating us like garbage. And now that we have a little bit of a now we're the most evil.
It doesn't
feel
so.
It also feels a bit petty of us to like
complaining
celebrate about it, and like, and just like, because like, what makes us any better? We're no better than them if we just celebrate that.
Look, it's really easy to be fucking cynical about this, but that doesn't make it any more right.
No, I know.
It's super fucking easy to be like, oh, haha, you guys wanted something that was gonna essentially take what we wanted and not really follow through with it. It's not happening now. Tough shit for you, motherfuckers. Now you know how it feels. That's still not fucking cool, dude. There's like a whole. I'm not done. I'm not fucking done. I'm not fucking done. Check it out, motherfuckers. It's not fucking cool. There's a whole
Point of order.
There's a whole damn crew of people who just had their whole damn vision shut out the fucking window because David Zaslav was like, yeah, tough shit, this doesn't work for me. Shelf. That's not fucking cool.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's still not fucking cool.
Not cool.
I understand it's not cool, but you got to understand the history and the situation. They did
like at Warner Brothers.
I absolutely do.
The studio
doesn't make it right.
Was already bought. The studio was already bought. You have to listen to this. The studio was already bought by freaking Discovery, and they pushed these two movies just to fuck up the whole Snyder vision, just to fuck up the whole fact that.
How does Blue Beetle fuck up the whole Snyderverse? Elaborate on that, please.
Listen,
elaborate to me on how Blue Beetle fucks the Snyderverse. I don't understand that logic at all.
Not Blue Beetle. I'm talking about. I don't know what Blue Beetle is because I don't even know if it's the Snyderverse. But literally, Batgirl was trying to make. They try to put J.K. Simmons, who's in the Snyderverse, and freaking Keaton in the same universe, just because they were trying to force the clown part over there was trying to force to erase the Snyder after the Flash. They were doing this shit on purpose because they know everybody was getting fired. Everybody from fucking WB, because the studio was already bought by Discovery. And they pushed this fucking movie, and they thought that Zack Snyder was going to come in and say, you know what?
Not yet.
You guys are doing this shit on purpose. Fuck yeah. He fucking cut this fucking movie. And I'm sorry for the people that worked on it, but you know that's exactly what they were trying to do.
Look,
and it should never have been authorized at all because, once again,
exactly.
who cares about Batgirl?
Exactly.
It's never been authorized at all because they did that shit on purpose.
At the end of the day, you had a group of execs who were in there who greenlit a bunch of projects because, you know, they wanted to have their names attached to a number of projects that were already in production, probably to save their own jobs. Who knows? But in reality, a lot of these projects should not have been greenlit. And especially with the merger about to happen with new people taking over, why are you greenlighting all these random ass projects like the Wonder Twins? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Why
here?
was that even an option?
Exactly. And so, you know, I feel bad for everyone involved in Batgirl that you know, they got hired.
And also,
you know,
like,
they
keep
did their
acting
job.
like they're allies with, like, that they agreed that they loved Justice League and shit like that. They didn't. I'm pretty sure none of them really loved
they
Justice League.
put that crap of Justice League in the theaters.
I'm talking about the Batgirl directors. Like, of course they're not
fans.
fans.
I didn't know. They put that nasty ass shit Justice League in the 2017 just so they could get a paycheck and get a raise. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck about any. I'm sad
And by
about
the way,
people that worked in Batgirl, but they did shit just to fuck everybody over. No one's there to do their jobs and do this shit. So I don't have any feelings for the movie. I don't give a crap. You know what I hope they do is that she's actually Batman's. I hope Leslie Grace becomes Batman's freaking
sidekick.
Batgirl. I hope they bring her back for her.
But here's the thing, though, is that
that would be my question.
If you bring back Batgirl in any, like, let's say you go with Affleck as Batman now, which I hope they do, right? And then if they do introduce a Batgirl, does it have to be Leslie Grace? What happens if they introduce Batgirl and it's been recast with a different actor?
Well, she has.
Oh my God, people are saying Anna.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What makes you think Leslie Grace is going to want to come back after what Warner Brothers just did to her for this?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know that.
She's gonna get paid, yo.
Also, she got paid.
That doesn't fucking matter,
dude.
That does not fucking matter.
Do you think that she'd rather be in Batgirl or be a Batgirl that's gonna be on HBO Max, or a Batgirl she's gonna be Batgirl that's gonna make $1 billion and she's gonna get the freaking residuals from that?
I think as an actress, she would want
in the back end
no matter how big the monetary gain is.
Yeah.
Okay, so here she is via Leslie Grace. She posted this image here. We got the eye
makeup.
Eye makeup, thank you. And then she wrote this. On the heels of recent news about our movie Batgirl, I'm proud of the love and hard work and intention all of our incredible cast and tireless crew put into this film over 7 months in Scotland. I feel blessed to have worked among absolute greats and forged relationships for a lifetime in the process. To every Batgirl fan, thank you for the love and belief, allowing me to take on the cape and become, as Babs said it best, my own damn hero. Batgirl for life. So that was her statement in terms, after, hearing the news that her movie has been canceled. It's sad stuff, you know what I mean? Like, to put someone, it's not fair to her and for the cast. But okay, so look, we all know that's a tough situation. That sucks. Okay, I think we can all agree that part of it is fucking terrible. It sucks ass.
Yeah.
But when you look at the overall picture of it now, right? With Batgirl out of the way, you lose that movie that had the connective tissue to Michael Keaton and that also put him in the same universe as J.K. Simmons, right? So now that is out the door. So now it leaves you the ability to say, okay, well, look, how about we reshoot the end of The Flash so that he goes back to his own timeline? And who's to say that, at the end of this movie, he saves that universe that he created by accident, but at the end he goes back to his own world, and which would be quote unquote the Snyderverse. He goes back to his own universe, and it carries on from there. You see what I'm saying? So I think if you're Warner Brothers, that's another way you can do option 2 is by embracing what you already have. Just make it to where it's a self-contained story about the Flash and about the multiverse, and then he goes back to his regular, his universe that he came from. And when he goes back there, he sees Affleck. He's something there tells you that he's back where he started, and then you can essentially continue on from there.
And what I'm saying is like what if they have the same dad, right? It's freaking J.K. Simmons, so why can't she be the Batgirl? Like, would you like to see the popcorn version of Batgirl, or you want to see the the Batfleck version of Batgirl that they're both of them fighting Deathstroke, and it's Leslie Grace?
I'll take Batfleck.
The Batfleck.
I'll say Batfleck
movie. Batfleck movie where it's Deathstroke versus Batman and Batgirl, and it's her, dude. That will make that will be epic compared to that suit that she was wearing.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, I would rather see them bring back Affleck, bring back Henry Cavill, reunite the original Justice League, and because at the end of the day, I want to see this. Fighting Darkseid. You know what I mean? In an epic battle, that's what I want to see. I don't. That's it. I mean, that's the end game for me, is I want to see that. Black Adam's coming out, which it should be good, but I don't know where they're going with that story. I have no idea. So that kind of makes me nervous on what they're going to do. But on top of that, you have these reports coming from that Rolling Stone article that Supergirl movie is unlikely to move forward.
Well, that's gone.
That's gone. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, well, no shit.
Because I'll tell you why that was authorized to cement Supergirl as the replacement Superman. So the minute that Zaslav came in and threw that plan out of the water, he's like, then why is she getting a movie?
And who's to say that this was really ever off the ground? I mean, other than barely in production.
Had a writer. That's about it.
Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me. There's no really plans.
No, literally, they were throwing shit on the wall. Oh, let's have a black Superman who's Clark Kent. Let's do this.
The spaghetti verse.
It was like, what the hell are they doing? And every one of us that are fans were like, what the hell is DC doing right now? What the hell is WB doing now? And now that it's course correcting, a lot of people are like, oh no, why are they doing this? Because he's trying to fix everything. He said he wants one thing. He said, bro, I'm not even sure that there's gonna be a Batman 2.
Okay, so Daniel says, Henry Catino, was the movie finished or did it need more work on it? So principal photography was done, and I believe a rough cut of the movie was complete, but they still had more visual effects. They still had a lot more work to do on the movie, but it was fairly close to being completed. But the directors even said that it wasn't close to being done, because you still have to do a lot more editing. You probably they might have had reshoots or pickups. Yeah, there's probably no score. So I mean, yes, there was a lot of more work that was going to be done on the movie. It wasn't going to come out until next year at this point, for all we knew. So yeah, but I mean, principal photography was done, and so that's the other thing too, is that when people say, "Oh well, Zack can work on both movies at the same time. He can do his Rebel Moon and he can do his Justice League." The thing with Justice League is that it was basically, he had already edited the movie, and so he had people doing visual effects. So while he's doing Army of the Dead, he goes on his computer and spends half the day with them, going over VFX shots, going over editing, going over all that, all digital. Using his computer. So, but to film a movie, that takes a larger commitment to do that.
And Robert Zemeckis had a problem when he was filming fucking Back to the Future 2 and 3 back to back. And Back to the Future Part 2 suffered, and he knew that, and that's why
I actually like Part 2.
Part 2 was good, but it did suffer Part 3 suffered because in the editing bay and working on all the visual effects and getting all that done for Part 2. So Part 3 suffered because he was going back and forth, looking at the dailies in Part 2, and then going and working on Part 3.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. It's like, I know a lot of people, including myself, like Zack Snyder, but like, hey, allow him to be the overseer or the architect, and I'm fine with that too.
Yeah. So I put a poll in the chat that says, should Batgirl have gotten axed? 29 votes are in. 79% of you said yes. 21% said no. So people are saying that it should have gotten canceled. Now, obviously, I think people are saying it should got canceled for different reasons, not looking at, everyone involved with it. It was more like that project should have never been greenlit in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's sad that it actually came to that. But then we go to this right here, which is from the Flash Film News, where it looks like they actually contacted Barbara Muschietti and says, hola, Barbara. Anyway, he says, was this decided today or can we dispute it? I feel for you and Andy if it turns out to be true. I know how much you both put into this film. And she says, absolute bullshit.
Now, but with Zaslav, he changed his mind like that.
Well, I mean, you're
gonna
taking it out of context.
Movie. Oh my God, they are not going to act.
You're taking it out of context. She's like absolute bullshit. She is so upset about what they did.
Exactly.
Almost $1 million movie.
It looks like
She's like, this is bullshit.
I mean, look. Look. This account, who I know, is a very honest person, but you could argue that it's it's absolute bullshit. The next line was, "I can't believe they're doing this."
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No, but literally,
just crop
I know people are crying about the $90 million budget thing, so they're tax writing that off.
Hey, he's a peacemaker.
$300 million.
Hey, there's no like, you son of a bitch.
There's no like.
Damn,
no
0 likes. Oh well, fuck off. I don't give a shit. Let's see. I think it's funny, so who gives a shit?
He's a peacemaker. He's a janitor in the beginning. But anyway, so she says that's absolute bullshit and take it for what it is.
That's Anne's son-off sister. Jesus Christ.
What are you guys expecting?
That's Andy Muschietti's sister. Good Lord.
Yeah. That's Barbara.
Wow, I thought they were married. Oh.
No.
I hope not.
This is Star Wars.
This is the Star Wars.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. Are you guys expecting? You know what I'm expecting the most tomorrow, whatever happens. I want a fandom. A
fandom? Fandom? Are you gonna fucking have?
No. That's fucking dead in the water.
They're never going to do a fandom again. Zaslav is not going to say, "Why am I going to waste money for you to gather around on the internet?"
They're like, Mr. Zaslav, should we do a fandom? Is what he's gonna say.
Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I think he'd be more like, "What the fuck is a fandom?" And
yeah, exactly.
What's a fandom?
I barely know her.
You guys don't think this
Barely know her. Okay, so then we
is
go
that
to
like Biodome.
Exactly right. So then we go to the biggest news of today, which is this right here, which is basically Warner Bros. Discovery is considering moving the release dates of Shazam: Fury of the Gods and Aquaman: The Last Kingdom.
No, don't move them. Fuck.
So here's the thing.
Here's the
now
problem.
they're talking about moving this. Go ahead.
One of them is coming out during Avatar. That's the problem there.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
and that was always
Warner's
a bad
probably
part.
like, why are we screwing our movie? It's like when Justice League was coming out the same time as like Thor. I'm like, of course it's gonna have troubles. Besides the fact that it was Justice League.
No, I'm not sure.
No, I can agree with that. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
It's the worst timing to put that out. It's like, what are you trying to do?
But they always have a December movie. That's the whole thing. They always have a movie in December.
Well, it's because Aquaman came out and made bank in December, so they were like, "Oh, lightning twice."
Okay, so here's your girl, Grace Randolph, and she was the first one to report this one. So here she goes. Okay, so what's that?
More info, I hear. Aquaman 2 is likely getting pushed back, possibly to December 23. I don't know.
She doesn't fucking know.
She doesn't fucking.
She's an idiot that just showed you she didn't have fucking access when they fucking dropped that Batgirl.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I hear what you guys are saying.
Yes, you must have the hot special.
You must have the hot special.
Right now. We don't care.
Okay, so tinfoil hat. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Scott Fowler. So here's the thing: if this is true, if they move Aquaman to December of 2023, right? That would put it currently ahead of or after the Flash. Okay, so if it's coming out after the Flash, if the Flash keeps its release date and this comes out afterwards, and we know that Ben Affleck has filmed a scene for this movie, then that would mean that Ben Affleck is going to be the Batman moving forward, unless they go back to the Keaton scene.
Yeah,
It's just gonna be Keaton again.
What they'll have it like playing Halo on split screen. It'll be half Michael Keaton. Let me put it this way: if it's a studio that tried to CGI remove a mustache, do you really think that anything is beyond them at this point?
But that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
they could
So,
also
like,
move the flashback as well.
I don't think they're going to.
Again,
though. I mean,
They could.
You can't push that farther out. I mean, it's just like
They can push it
it's
back
like a
to
fucking
2026.
Band-Aid.
They
Eventually,
can
you
push
gotta
it off
rip the rock.
2046.
They can do whatever they want.
It's never coming out.
they can actually
Aquaman that far back doesn't make
They
any
can bring
sense.
it back to freaking December, the Flash, and move everything else. You don't know.
I mean, moving it to December is kind of like, why the fuck would you do that? But I mean, fuck, because it seems like if the Flash is going to come out, I believe was it June or July?
June 23rd.
June 23rd. Why not? Why wouldn't you bring this movie out in like, I don't know, October? Why would you wait till December?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
That
at
doesn't
all.
make any
December
sense.
for Aquaman.
She has.
That's the month
that's
they made all that money on.
Yeah,
the
it makes
first
so much
Aquaman.
sense because they've already moved it from December 2022 to March 2023. Now let's move it back 7 more fucking months to put it in December. No, it doesn't
Didn't
make
they
any
do the
fucking
same
sense,
thing
dude.
with fucking Star Wars? Didn't they keep moving that bitch?
Mm-hmm.
No, but what can they do? Because Avatar 3 comes out next December. Because are they coming back?
Not if Avatar
They
3
are.
bombs at the
Yeah.
box office.
What
No,
about,
they shot all those movies, or they shot at least 2 of them. I know that for Avatar. So you're gonna get another Avatar in 23.
Yeah,
So I mean,
in December 20.
It begs the question.
it begs the question. But no, so with this news, okay, as much as Great Stranoff is super fucking annoying, this was the only thing today that I read that I thought, holy shit.
Rack their eyes.
If this movie comes out after the Flash and they just filmed a Ben Affleck scene, if that scene stays in the movie, then he's our Batman. He's going to be the Batman moving forward.
Yeah.
Unless they
But
go,
it's
okay,
not-
now that it's
what if it's
after,
not what if it's Justice League Batman?
it doesn't matter. I'd rather see Ben Affleck as Batman anyway.
Hang on.
And from everything I'm hearing is that Alan Horn is not happy with the fact that Michael Keaton has come back.
Right.
I have 2 points here. So first off, addressing that
I
as
think
being
Phil got the same
Justice League
message.
Batman. But so this movie, we're assuming that if this movie comes out after the Flash, it's in the same continuity as the Flash, right? And we know that at the beginning of the Flash, he mentions the Flash going back in time in the real Justice League. So I'm like, okay, there is that. But the second, actually, really, that's all I got now, because that's really the point here, because it's like
Back in time.
Thank you for playing.
About. Why?
Thank you guys for joining the Nick Tina Show. I'm your host.
I love that clip.
Okay, so but wait, but here's the thing. Okay, so there's 2 ways to go about this again. I mean, if you do the Flash and you make it to where the Flash is a self-contained story about the multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it shows that a multiverse exists within DC. Like, okay, hey, that's cool, right? And then I was talking about this with Ryan, was that at the very end, if he uses Speed Force and he goes back to the world that the universe that he came from, he shows up in his universe, and what does he find? That the world is the nightmare future.
That's
while
what
he was gone.
That's
While
what
he
I've been
was gone.
saying.
Right. Hold on. While he was gone, Darkseid showed up and took over Earth. And so when he comes back, he's like, what the fuck just happened? And so if you read the storyboards, if you read the original Zack Snyder storyboards, Green Lantern crashes on Earth, and then he's attacked by parademons. Batman and the Justice League, the Nightmare Justice League, show up, save him, and explain to him what has happened. And then he already kind of knows, like, yeah, Darkseid, right? So what if in this case you take the same concept, but now it's the Flash, and then Batman and the Nightmare Justice League show up, and they have to explain it. He's like, "What's happening?" Like, Barry, where have you been? And then they explain to him what happened.
Or on a smaller scale, if he shows up and Superman shows up with Superman in the black suit.
What? Is he
what?
Because remember, no, because at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, Superman's in the black suit still.
Right.
No, he's not.
By the time the Nightmare rolls around, he's in the blue and red suit.
No, but I'm just saying, as opposed to doing the Nightmare scene, I'm just saying on a smaller scale to establish, hey, we're kind of in Zack's timeline. We have an actual.
You're saying no Nightmare, just like he comes back and he sees Superman in the black suit.
Yeah.
I do not understand why we are so obsessed. Why we are so upset with the damn fucking black suit. The blue and red suit was right there. He just took that one because he needed to be.
He just needed a wardrobe change.
Have the sun be strong on him. He only took the black suit. You saw the red and blue suit there. It was there during Zack Snyder's Justice League. He decided to use that. Why are we so obsessed with a fucking suit?
Well, because at the end of the movie, at like one of the ending scenes of the movie, when he does the shirt rip, he's still wearing the black suit.
Wearing the black suit.
But that's only because it helps him regenerate, and he was weak. So after that, that time period's over. I mean, you don't wear a cast. If your leg is broken and it is given time to heal,
right?
You take the fucking cast off and you wear your blue fucking Superman suit and you fly around.
You gotta wear your undies. No,
but remember though, if you watch Project Justice League Part 1, or read the storyboards in Justice League 2, in the original concept, Superman had abandoned the persona of Clark Kent. Superman had just become Superman, but and that's all he was. He tells Lois Lane, Clark is dead. The world believes that too. You know what I mean?
And
so he had convinced himself, like, yeah, that version of me is dead. I am just Superman now. But then at the end of it, he comes to the conclusion that having a child gave him a reason to be Clark again, and it kind of brings him back down to being that Clark Kent, and why it's important. Why Clark Kent is an important asset to the world.
And here's the other part. When Cyborg plugs into the Kryptonian ship to essentially like revive Superman, he gets that vision, and Darkseid shows up and puts his hand on Superman. Superman's wearing the black suit in that Nightmare scene.
Exactly.
Right.
But listen.
Wait, I got a question. Why does he go back to the blue and red when he goes evil? Like, I would just assume.
No, because the whole issue is
I
that
just explained it.
Every scene that we saw, every scene when we saw in the Nightmare, every Nightmare scene was a different Earth. I would say it was a different timeline. That's why Joker is telling him every timeline that you go to, you try to save yourself. If you notice, he kills Batman in the first. He kills Batman over here. He becomes evil over here.
No one's ever really gone.
Sorry.
So
I was trying to find my mouse. And I actually
That was
what I'm
very
saying
odd.
is every scene of the Nightmare scenes are completely different
movie.
It's a good movie.
Different timelines. So
You're cutting out, Krypton.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're cutting out.
The Techno Union Army.
You just close it out.
I just had my hand in the mic.
The Techno Union Army.
Is this my cue to go? The banking clan will sign your treaty.
The banking clan will sign.
But no, I mean, and I thought Zach said this, but I think it may have been more my perception of why he's doing it. I always felt that the reason why he wears the blue suit is because when Darkseid takes over the world, or starts to attack the world and take over the Justice, he kills the Justice League, assumes control of Superman. To me, it's like, hey, look, communications are going to go down immediately. It's not like everyone's going to be able to use your cell phones and the internet. No, that's going to go down. Instantly when we start destroying satellites and all kinds of facilities. And so it would make sense to me for him to instruct him, go put on your blue suit. That way, wherever you go, they will come to you thinking that you're their savior, you're their hero, and you just annihilate them.
It's to demoralize them.
Exactly.
He's your hero, Clark. I don't know why
exactly.
I sound like Nicolas Cage, but
you know what I mean? It's like, put on your blue suit and let them come to you, and then then show them, your full wrath. Basically, just wipe them out.
That's some evil shit, and that's the awesome thing.
That's why I always thought why you wore the blue suit. Because if I was a bad guy like Darkseid, I'd be like, now I want you to go put on your blue suit because that's what they know you as, and they trust you in that suit.
But does Darkseid know Superman has a blue suit though?
Oh, that's a plot. We need to address that in a novel. We got to write on a board.
Because Darkseid just shows up and he has no knowledge of who's. The only time he sees Superman is in the black suit.
What would be even darker is if Superman brought it up and said, and he was his idea to put on the blue suit because
that is evil ass shit. That'd be fucking off.
Like this will draw them to me. You know what I mean? And then he just fucking kills everyone who gets near him. You know what I mean?
Or what if it was Superman's idea?
Yeah.
No one's ever really gone.
What if he just goes and grabs the suit and doesn't even have a conversation with Darkseid?
Yeah, maybe he just does it.
Yeah, maybe
what happens to Darkseid?
He's like, you know what? He's like, you know what?
Superman.
He's like, you know what? I feel evil enough, but I'm not really digging this black suit. I think I want some blue.
That's what we got to see right there.
Yes,
if they can pull this off, fuck yeah. I like how their lasers are just like it just looks like water guns hitting him.
Yeah,
he's like,
it's the Justice League Super Soakers.
Yeah, he's like, oh, get these things off of me. Martian Manhunter's like, I'm gonna read your mind.
And Flash is like, let's have a foot race.
Yeah, I'm gonna run around you.
Let's go to Hawaii.
What I've been saying. I don't think that 7 heroes are gonna try to. Darkseid and his minions. Do you think in between they're gonna introduce more heroes? So like in 3, they're gonna have like a they're gonna have the whole end game version where there's a lot of heroes instead of just the 7.
It's gonna be the whole Green Lantern Corps supposedly.
Yeah, the whole Green Lantern Corps. Everybody.
The whole world.
The whole world is the Justice
becomes
League.
the Justice League.
We could be there. We could be in the. We could.
Humans are not gonna do shit. Okay.
Imagine if we all show up with Snyderverse flags in the movie.
All right. Well, on that note, guys, thank you for everyone who tuned in. I want to thank Ryan, Axel, Krypton, Jared, and fuck you, Phil, for showing up and hanging out here to talk about all the crazy shit that's been happening with WB. So let's go around the horn real quick. Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And fucking like my messages because I put out some funny shit every day.
Sometimes.
Every fucking day.
Axel, where can they find you?
You can find me at Twitter under Axel R. Droga, because remember, Twitter got suspended. And you can find me on Instagram, YouTube at Droga52, DeviantArt, Vero, and yeah, pretty much just that.
All right, Krypton's core.
At home.
Okay.
Okay.
Championing Thomas Wayne.
Gotta take that L.
I'm taking that L
on Twitter as well.
L, and it's not my fault. He's still Thomas Wayne.
All right, Jared, where can they find you?
All right, you can find me at Comics League 2021 on Instagram, Comics League JT on Twitter, and just Comics League on YouTube, where I cover pretty much everything that comes out that's related to Zack Snyder and DC.
Awesome.
Okay. And Phil, where can they find you?
Phil Connors?
The actor?
Bing!
You can find me.
Watch that step is a doozy.
Twitter, Vero, Instagram, just at Unfiltered. You can also catch my podcast, The Eternal Night and Superhero Stress. Both have new episodes out. You can probably catch me here tomorrow on the 4 Nerds.
Awesome.
There we go. So guys, tune in to the 4 Nerds tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the 4 Nerds Network. We'll be live again on this channel on Monday for the Nicotina Show. Who knows what the fuck is going to happen from then till now. Tomorrow will be a big day because tomorrow is the Investors Day. So more announcements will probably be made tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty crazy day. So we'll see how that kind of plays out.
Gotham Knights freaking
Gotham Knights. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they showed the Batgirl began play.
Get rid of that.
It's rumored that the show's been canceled, so I'm like, thank God.
I'm pretty sure that show should probably get canceled as well. So big shout out to the members of the channel. and everyone over on Patreon as well. If you want to become a patron or a member, the links are down below in the comment section. Check out the Teespring account. We got merchandise on there. You can get Nicotina Show shirts, mugs, hats, whatever the fuck you want. It's on there, and some different designs as well. So check that out, and we will see you guys tomorrow on the Foreigners channel, and we'll see you on Monday right here for the Nicotina Show. Guys, thank you so much for coming on here and talking. And yeah, dude, we'll see you guys next time. So see you later. Go home. Go to bed. Peace.